Let's have a look at the different sources a particle playground system can emit particles from. At the very top of a particle playground system, you'll find the source tab. And a source is basically a way of describing how or where particles should get their birth position from. The default value is using a transform. You can create new transforms from here as well, where a single particle system will emit from several transforms within the scene. And you'll also find the state. A state is basically a way of creating birth positions from either the pixels inside a texture, where you can assign a depth map as well. You could also create birth positions from a mesh. So let's just create a state here from a texture, and let's just create it right away after assigning the texture and pressing create there. You'll see that the effect looks kind of weird inside a scene, and this is because we don't have enough particle count. We only have 100 particles, and the points created here is a lot more. So let's set particle count to that. And as you'll see, the effect is kind of large inside a scene. This is because every pixel is measured in units. So 1 pixel is 1 unit. Let's scale that down a bit to say 0.1. And just to show you a bit better, we can annihilate the forces here in the forces tab. Force annihilation, only source positions, for example. So here you'll see that the particle birth positions are created from the non-alpha values, or the pixels which has some sort of alpha to them. The non-alpha, completely non-alpha, will not be taken into account when creating. And the state is bound to a transform inside a scene, so if you were to rotate this, it will just follow along. You can also create these birth positions from a world object, and that is expecting a mesh within the scene. Let's create a 3D object. Let's say we create a sphere and assign that sphere to the world object here. And we will get particles around the vertices of the sphere. Let's set particle count to the actual vertices here. This mesh could also be procedural. So if your vertices are changing over time, that can be enabled here. So let's have a look at the skin world object, and this is requiring a skin mesh within the scene. Let's find the robot Kyle here and drag that into the scene. Let's have a look at. We should just be able to drag that into there, and it will start to create birth positions from the vertices of the skin mesh. We could set the resolution here, how this should behave if we want to distribute particles over the entire skin mesh and not have as many points created. So let's see if this is hooked up to a controller. we need a controller for animation. Let's try to just hit play and see what happens. And as you'll see, the particles will follow the vertices in real time. You'll also find a script setting here for the sources, and this enables calling emission from script. You'll also find a mode where you can paint live into the scene. So let's create a 3D object, a plane or a quad, doesn't matter. Where we could just start painting on the collider. Let's disable the only source positions there. And what's good with this working with the paint mode here is that you have this kind of shortcut inside the scene view as well, where you can change colors, and you can work with brushes, or you can erase your created positions there. So what this mode also does, or the actual paint, is that it tags along the object which is painted onto, which is good to know. You'll also find a mode here called projection, where you can project onto any colliders inside the scene. We could try that out. Let's project the playground icon here. We will need a transform to project from, and it will need colliders. Let's reuse our quad here. And right, we have created we need 11,643 points for this texture. So let's set particle count to that. That's why we didn't see all the full texture there. And we could set only source positions like that. And the projection has a live update mode here. This tells the particle system to just look for colliders every frame and changes in the collider. If you know that your projection will only be on static, let's say ground that isn't changing, you can disable that here and spare some CPU cycles. You can change the scale here as well. You need to press refresh once you do that. And you can have this sort of surface offset, which will offset from the surface normal. And there's a 2D mode available here as well for the colliders. The same thing goes with paint, actually. I forgot to tell you that. So that's good to know. And you can emit from splines as well. And this is a different video, actually, because there's quite a lot to cover there. But just to show you how that works, we can create a new playground spline here. And it will start to emit from this spline. And I'll just edit this rather quickly to just show you how that works. So that basically covers the different sources that is available. I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least got a better sort of overview how what different things is available in Particle Playground for the sources. Thanks for watching.